is your hands. If you ever had fear of something, let me see. As you can see, some people are even afraid to raise their hands. Fear is the beginning of every weakness. What is fear? F-E-A-R is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. Fear is an illusion, something we fabricate in our own minds and pretends it's real. The common label for fear is anxiety, something which arises from our own thoughts. Mr. President, how to conquer fear? Seth Godin says, and I quote, "Anxiety is nothing but repeatedly re-experiencing failure in advance. The formula to conquer fear is simple. Try is equal to success." A book by Norman Pearl titled The Plus Factor that teaches us an important lesson about fear, that there is only one way to kill the fear. Do the thing you fear and death of the fear is certain. Yes, do the thing you fear and death of the fear is certain. Research says you are born with two fears. One, the fear of falling. Two, the fear of loud noises. But where did the other fears come from? From the people we trust, parents, peers, relatives, siblings, and friends. Edgar Guest, an American poet, says, "There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you." Mr. President, to know the actual strength of Amalika, an enemy nation of the Israelites, Prophet Musa sends 12 spies and instructs them strictly not to share the secret with anyone, but on their return, they said that they all were giants. Prophet Musa commanded them to fight, but they got scared and replied. Quran says, and I quote, "Qalu ya Musa, inna fiha qawman jabbarin." O Musa, therein live a ferocious people. Fazhab anta wa rabbuka faqatila inna hahuna qa'idun. O Musa, go forth you and your Lord and fight both of you. As for us, we will sit here. Mr. President, fear is the beginning of every weakness. It was the fear that defeated them before the battle. It was the fear that kept them degraded at the Valley of Chi for 40 years. It was the fear that punished them till their last breaths. But Mr. President, when phenomenal courage spurred their young generation into action, then they were able to raise the flags of victory, which testifies the topic of my speech. Fear is the beginning of every weakness. Yes, fear is the beginning of every weakness. Mr. President, what you think you are. You are marvel. You are unique. You have the abilities. You have the capabilities. You can do wonders. If a snake enters your room, naturally, you will get scared and run away. Why? Because man goes for things that are easy. But if the doors are shut, then you'll complete the snake and defeat it. What rightly Edgar Guest says. But just buckle right in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you will do it. Mr. President, last but not the least, fear is holding you back. Fear is failure in advance. Fear is preventing you to take action steps needed for success. Let's defeat the fear. Let's focus on where we want to go, not on what we fear. Let's kindle the torch of hope, courage, and tolerance in our minds. For life is not a brief candle, but it is a splendid torch. So let's make it shine as brightly as possible before handing it over to the future generations.